Hey there, beautiful souls. Hope you're doing well. How are you riding this, whew, what feels like a massive overwhelm wave, which may well be bringing up all sorts of old patterns that we thought we'd dealt with, yet they're coming back up. And I always explain this like healing isn't linear, it's a spiral. And when we think we've dealt with something, there's another level, there's another layer. And I've explained this, that it's like our skin. Healing is like our skin. We cannot heal everything at the same time. It would just be completely dysfunctional, dysregulating, and yeah, we wouldn't know who the fuck we were. Okay. If we could spend all day in out healing, maybe so, but we're not. We need to be integrated in the world and with our day-to-day lives, so we can't just be in ourselves all the time. So healing has to happen in a graceful way, which gives you comfort. And I liken it like the skin, that it replenishes itself without us even feeling it, right? But we know we've got new skin coming through, and it's healthier, and it comes out through, which is, interestingly, if you have skin issues, I love these random videos. They just drop in with whatever suddenly needs to come through. Okay, so if you are having skin issues like eczema and even just acne, um, dry skin, I'm even being shown now, which is interesting, the yoni, so like what we call vaginal dryness. So these are like the deepest parts of ourselves from a female perspective. And oh, that can bring up huge, huge healing, huge emotional shifts to come through. And I'm just waiting for this to land. Okay, so bear with me on this one. It's showing me how that dryness is a lack of joy, a lack of bliss and pleasure in our lives. And actually, when it's anything to do with lubrication and fluid, this comes to our emotional state. So it's our sacral, which sits in our sacral, our lower back, our reproductive systems, our bladder. And it shows me it's a disconnection to that, and the cells that are within. So the essence of this, I'm just interested in it showing me the outer layers of our skin, yet then there's that deep, deep part of us, within our bodies, within the female body, which I'm sure for men as well will come through on their penis as well. Any issues which can hold so much shame and embarrassment, which is really, it, is a shame in itself, because this is where our power sits. This is where it lies within us. And there's so much shame and society that blocks us from connecting to this. Huge amounts of expectations of what it needs to be, what it needs to look like. And so this becomes like it's a form of self-rejection. Okay, this is what is coming through now. It's a point of ourselves where we have rejected. And for me, this is our power. Actually, what sits in our sacrum is our power. This is our blueprint. It's our point of creativity and manifestation. This is when we can bring actual life into the world. It's where we can bring projects into the world, where we can create and manifest as well. And money sits here too. Okay, so this is interesting because this is coming up for me, money. Okay, it's also something I've been journaling and channeling the energy of money, and being at a networking event, to people, quite interesting conversations was about money. One was about earning it, one was about debt collection, which is interesting. So both of them will have a positive and negative energy attached to money. And yeah, so the sacral energy is money. It's the joy, it's the pleasure, it's that lubrication, it's that abundance, it's what makes life flow much easier. Okay, so again, are we in flow? Are we aligning to our joy and our desires? Are we selling our soul for money? And this again is what has been showing up, is that how life can feel so lack of meaning, unfulfilled, that monotone sense of life, of like, and I can imagine not many people want to wake up sometimes because life has become so dull and disconnected. And it's because we are conditioned to live by money. Now, money is man-made, okay? So when you look at nature, it wouldn't be there. Man have made money. So it's not in our real true nature to connect to be it. And that's not saying it's a positive or negative. It can be both. But it's ruling how we show up in the world. It rules to our decisions. And if we're not lining to our joy, we've become disconnected from ourselves. That's our truth, that's our sovereignty, that's our power. So how this is unfolding, and this is for me too. So money has been really showing up for me as to its energy. So how come it's not coming through in abundance? And I've done so much work on my own self-worth and my relationship with money. So it feels like another layer that we all need to kind of work through. And the key is not to sell our soul for money, but how do we do that in a world that seems to be ruled by money? And it's interesting, I did actually do a journaling about money rules the world. What about love? And actually, if you could bring money and love together, we can have a very powerful world. And so I'm doing a meditation on Sunday evening, this Sunday coming, at 8:30 in the evening. It's through the Pajama Revolution. I will set up a link and get this sent through. So my dog's just decided to land. Here she is. There's my girl. Say hello, Jess. Say hello. Oh, dog hair. Lovely. Anyway, so yeah, I'm doing a meditation on Sunday, and it's showing me to get right into the whole, right down to the cellular level, right down to the ovum of when that fertilized cell, before it divides, what it takes with it. So it's showing me to get right into that, the cellular energy, what has been brought through from our ancestors, and all those belief systems that come through on money. And it's shown me how we alchemize and purify that to be absolute truth, and right down to our true nature and connection to earth and all that is, and how then that divides and then becomes us. It also showed me how that birthing process, so the placenta, and how that gets cut far too quickly actually, and it creates shock. It creates shock into the liver and shock into the reproductive organs through the neural systems and the arteries there. So we, that gets cut off too quickly, and puts a shock into the body as with children or babies, and it jump starts us too quickly to be independent all of a sudden. Whereas what it was showing me is, if we allow, and the placenta can take 2 to 3 days to actually come back to really allow the baby to take what it needs, and then it naturally falls away. We rush that process far too much. And so I feel like there's a huge part of us lost in that cutting of the cord too quickly. And it really affects our nervous systems to suddenly feel really, I don't know, separated too quickly. And so I will be seeing where that takes us on the meditation, and they're always channeled. So it can always change, but that's what it's showing me to do at present. So it's really getting into the true essence of birth, and bringing everything back to us that we really need to really feel safe and supported. Do you mind, dog? Safe and supported in our nervous system, and to feel independent. To what I talk about is being sovereign to ourselves. So if we are feeling like there's a part missing from us and we are separated, maybe this meditation will help us take us to that journey of where that energetics is that's holding and blocking us. And this feels very deep healing. So if you want to come and join, I will be posting a link for that. If the easiest thing to do would be go onto the Pajama Revolution, which is on Facebook, and I will be putting a Zoom link up there as well. And it's always pleasant when you have a dog deciding to groom itself right next to you, isn't it? Licking its bits. So yeah, there we go. That's a rather long message for you there, my beauties, and I got there eventually. So, but this is about skin, it's about connection to self, it's about money, it's about joy and pleasure, and all of that wraps up into one. So if you want to come and join us, do that, and lots of love.